Welcome to Waiting on the Trade, a comics book club for people who can't keep up with monthly comics. I'm Matt Ledger.
And I'm Patrick Fitzgerald Fleck.
This month, we're changing things up a bit. We're going to talk about a handful of comics that Pat and I have both been reading recently to get a bunch of books that we otherwise might not get to talk about on the podcast. So, this one's tentatively going to be entitled, What You Been Reading? Yeah, what you been reading? You want to go first? We each picked like 3 books, so I figure we can just alternate back and forth. Yeah.
Sure. Oh man, which to start with? I don't even know. Yeah, let's start with. Well, first off, you sprung this on me, and I loved the idea. But then I think when you asked, "Have you read any comics lately?" And I responded, "No, not really."
Yeah, but then within like 3 days, you picked like a healthy spread of books, and I was like, he either read these in the last 2 days or he lied to me.
Little calm, man, little calm, B. No, I have read. I read one of these ahead of time, and the other two have been in a wish list or some such for months. So it's not like I hadn't been thinking about these comics. Though I had not read them, the first two, for the last, I read them the last couple days, but I knew of them. I was looking forward to them.
It's also interesting because when I was thinking about this, I was thinking about, like I said in the intro, of like books we might not get to on the podcast, or like stuff that isn't, like probably wouldn't be on the blog either. So like that's kind of what I was shooting for with the stuff I picked. And you picked one that I have read before, one that I am currently reading and have written about on the blog, and then one that I haven't touched before. So.
Damn it, I was hoping it would. I knew that you probably would get this first one, which is Assorted Crisis Events, because it's like one of the most talked about comics, at least in my sphere.
I'm not sure if that's true, but in the places you're in, I believe that.
Kieran Gillen, I follow him on Blue Sky, and he really likes to talk up other Image comics. I don't know if it's like a deal he makes with Image Comics to help promote.
I think it's literally just these are my friends and these are their creator-owned comics.
Yeah,
and I like them.
Yeah.
I think it's literally that.
But he's been pushing them and posting some really cool splash art. And I couldn't. The whole premise of Assorted Crisis Events really jives with me. I'm a huge fan of Twilight Zone and Black Mirror, and it just seems. Have you ever watched the Netflix series Love, Death, and Robots?
No,
it's an anthology series. Oh, I highly recommend if you still have a subscription to Netflix. It's a bunch of different animated.
We'll probably get one in the winter because it's Great British Baking Show season. So
yes. Yeah, you should give it a go. I think there's a couple seasons, 2 or 3 seasons now. I heard the last one's not great, but first couple seasons are great. It's a bunch of different science fiction short animations.
Okay.
Very cool.
I think you've said something about it before. Do you want to discuss the conceit of Assorted Crisis Events quick? Since it's your book, and I'm not going to step on your toes.
I mean, I'll do my best. If you got something to add to it, please feel free. It's basically the premise that time is broken. You've got different people from different times and events just mashing into each other. You could have medieval knights in the middle of downtown New York. You can have basically it's completely. It just opens up the freedom to tell any kind of story that they want, which is really fun.
Yeah, I think that's good. Like, it's very Black Mirror meets Doctor Who, kind of, I guess, in a way. In that it's very, like you said, episodic. There's theoretically
there's a character that shows up, yeah.
And this is actually my primary question I want to ask you, because I've already written about it on the blog, so like I feel like I've said a decent amount of what I want to say about it, but like the main question I have for you is, do you want there to be an overall story at some point, or do you never want there to be an overall story?
No. I mean, I don't need it. I wasn't expecting there really to be. They're throwing this lost astronaut guy pops up I think in every issue he's got an appearance somewhere.
Yeah, and I think in the last chapter, which we talked about this off mic, but like we almost violated the rule of the podcast, but by the time this episode
Yes.
the first trade will be out because it'll be out literally the day after we do this recording. So, haha, Pat.
Yeah. No, this episode gave me the excuse to go ahead and just buy the 5 issues digitally, which honestly, if it's digital, there's not much difference between
No, it's not
buying the 5 of them and getting the trade. I think.
Yeah. I think so this one's on my like physical single issue pull list, which is not very big at this point. I think it's 4 books.
Mm-hmm.
And part of the reason it's on my monthly pull list is because it's so discreet each month. Like it's going to be a full story every month. And also I don't want to wait for it because it's so cool and inventive. So, yeah, I think buying the single issues is a good choice personally.
Yeah, it worked out. I was happy with it. But yeah, the art in this is phenomenal, and you can really tell they're having fun with the different layouts and formats of the pages. Really interesting. I just noticed when I was flipping through in preparation for this, lots of like the exact same panels, but they shift and from whatever like timey-wimey like nonsense that's happening, which is really cool. Like the colors will like invert, or there will be like different like what is it, issue 2, where it's like the panic attack meat plant guy, like his life flashing before his eyes.
So you don't actually get to see the bit of issue 2, which is one of my favorite bits actually, because yours is digital. If you have the physical version of it, you can see the red that's dripping down the background of the page like get more intense, like on the I looked up the word when I wrote about this, but like the reverse spine. So like the edge with the pages on it, like you can see it get more red
there's like
as the story
gradient. Interesting.
Crazy. Super neat. But yeah, do you have a favorite issue or story?
I mean, they're all pretty good. Probably issue 2. I mean, the one that hit me the hardest because, well, it's either issue 1 or issue 4. Issue 4 really hit me. It's like, oh god.
Yeah, I liked issue 4 a lot. And interestingly, like issue 5 almost does like, I was thinking about this before we hopped on the recording, like the reverse or inverse of it with time, where like issue 4 is the time is going very, very fast issue, and then issue 5 is the you're stuck in a single moment issue, and they just kind of come back to back. So that's an interesting, like, I don't know, an interesting bit of Dennis Camp's notebook, which I guess we should probably do creative teams quickly on these.
Oh, sure.
So, got Dennis Camp, the writer, Eric Zawadzki. I'm gonna say I said that right, as our artist.
Great.
Really crushing it, just like with the layouts and the paneling and everything throughout this, just like so inventive, so cool. Jordi Belair on colorist, also crushing it. Hassan Atzman Elhau, letterer. I think issue 1 is my favorite lettering issue so far. I'm sure at some point it'll be surpassed, but I think there's so many neat tricks in that issue with lettering.
Sure.
There are a bunch throughout though. Like everyone's just kind of, and I'm wondering if you feel the same way about this. Like everyone's really just enjoying playing in the space, and the space is a comic book page, and kind of like seeing how you can bend it and twist it and make it do what you want it to do.
Yeah, they're being very inventive with the medium. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, it seems like each of them have like a metaphor that they're obviously focusing on, which I feel like the best of the Twilight Zones or the Black Mirrors have that they really lean into. I truly, issue 1 is like, oh wow, so it's just us living in America today. This is what's happening. You have no idea, like nonsense is happening, insanity on a daily basis. And you're just supposed to keep going. You're supposed to keep going to work. There's my favorite page that just made me laugh out loud is this woman wakes up and it says, next day or next week, it's impossible to say which. I wake up to a fascist nightmare, but I still got to go to work. It's like, Christ. I fell for that one.
Yeah.
Truly did. And the second one, I think, is like a panic attack, or like this guy's doing horrific things at work that just is bringing up the horrible memories of his life flashing before his eyes. People online aren't sure if the raptors are actually there or not. I don't know. It makes sense with the rest of them, but there actually is
Oh, they're definitely there.
displaced dinosaurs. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm 100% on the raptors are actually there. I actually feel like there's not as much fantastical stuff, which maybe I'm forgetting about something besides like, I mean, obviously, like the third one is the parallel universe one, which I think might be one of my favorites, honestly.
It's pretty good.
There's a lot of neat
Which
tricks
is
in that one too, of like
immigration.
parallel
Yeah.
pages and stuff, like you were saying.
Yep.
But like it's getting slightly fantastical and like things from different eras overlaying each other, like from that perspective. Not less fantastical and like it's all time skips and jumps and loops and stuff. So I'm sure it'll circle back around. But we haven't had raptors in a while, I guess. Is what I'm saying.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, issue 4 is the man who's just passively living his life and isn't like being an active participant, which I wasn't sure if it actually was like he was skipping forward in time or if he just was wasting his life.
I think it's both. I think it's he is actually skipping it forward in time, but like you said, like it's the metaphor of what that means and how that looks if it was actually happening to you in reality.
Yeah. I mean, after 2020 and quarantine, I think everyone's got like a good 3-year gap in their history.
Yeah.
Yeah. The panel where he's at the doctor's and he's like, 50? I'm not 50. Am I? It's like, goddamn. Damn.
I'm 30.
Yeah, careful.
No, going to be 36. 35 going to be 36 because cats.
You're so young. You're so young.
It takes me a second though, I guess is what I'm saying.
Right. And then yeah, the final issue is about the young girl or woman that's reliving the trauma of that one 60-second event where her parents were fighting and getting abusive in front of her. So it's all about trauma and reliving that trauma over and over and over again.
Yeah, and it just takes over her life, regardless of the fact that she was stuck there for like a million years, apparently. Yeah, it's a good book. Good pick. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we at some point talk about it more in depth on either like if we grab volume 2 or something like that, because
yeah,
it's probably one of my favorite books of the year. Yeah, I would say so.
Nice.
Very good. Would recommend.
See, I was gonna check the blog and make sure you hadn't had things, but this is one that I was like, I've been waiting for this trade to be released.
I mean, I think
that's my wish list.
Good pick then, because I want you to pick stuff you're excited about. So
well, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know. Part of my hesitation to do a format like this is like when I listen to comics reviews stuff and one person has read the thing and the other person hasn't, I always find it much less interesting. So we started off with one that we both read, so hopefully it was good.
Hey. Well, it sounds like you know at least one more of mine, so we should be good there.
And I did read the first chapter of the other one just because, so.
Oh yeah? There you go.
Yeah. I will take my first pick though. So I recently checked out from the library the collection Ew, It's Beautiful, which is a collection of the webcomic False Knees by Joshua Barkman. I am one of those weirdos who doesn't read webcomics online, but every once in a while does read them in print. So I had read the first False Knees collection when it came out, and then the way I actually found this one is that I keep on top of the library's like can't miss graphic novel list. Like I usually check it once a month, once every couple months when I'm checking stuff out. And it was on there, so I got it. I feel like I'm the first person to read a lot of the library's comics, probably. Maybe not, but I was curious if you have heard of False Knees at all, Pat.
I didn't know it by name, but I have seen the memes of at least a couple of them. There's the bird being overtaken by the annoying cawing crow.
Oh yeah.
And then I think there's another one where like a crow is doing stand-up comedy and someone complains about the jokes and it's just caw 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 in his that he's reading.
Yeah, there's a stand-up comedy one in this collection too, which I don't remember the punchline of off the top of my head actually, but like yeah, just to give like the overview or synopsis or whatever. It's a comic that's usually like four-ish panels, and it's just about usually birds, sometimes other animals, like doing cute and or heartfelt and or like sentimental things out in nature.
It looks like
Little
lots of fun.
Yeah, they're super fun. They're just like little vignettes.
Yeah.
And like I read the book in an evening. My wife Kat read it like on a car ride we took to Milwaukee this weekend. Like it's pretty fast. I went back and reread some of it, and also I wanted to like pick out some favorites. I was hopefully gonna put them in my documents so I could link them to you, Pat, but instead I'm just gonna have to describe them to you. I'll only do two or
Sure.
three. Um, the first one is one with a couple robins, and the first robin drops off a present for the second one, and it's a sunflower seed. And the second one's like, "Oh, go to present," and the first robin's like, "Open it, open it, open it, open it." And so it's like, "Okay, I'll open it." He opens it, and there's a peanut inside. It's delightful. They both get really excited. It's great. Um, the second one is something that I want as a shirt, but I don't think the False Knees web store sells shirts. But it's a comic that's a raccoon, and it's like sometimes I just feel like grr, rar, hiss, and it's just like it gets like kind of darker at each panel and angrier. So like that one I really loved. Um, and then the last one is, oh gosh, I was gonna look up the bird before, but I think it's some kind of hawk. Returns to its nest and is like looking at its chicks, and it's like, oh, my innocent fluff balls, and they're just like blood stained like all around their beaks because they just like
Oh no.
recently eaten something. Like it's very cute, but also very like, yeah. So yeah, it's a quick one. They're all, I don't know, they're mostly fun. Like I said, some of them are sentimental. There's a little bit of like experimental stuff with lettering and perspective and like um different art styles too that pops up every once in a while, but mostly it's just like grab it, read it. It's quick, it's fun, it's kind of breezy. So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it looks really cute. I think his art is very cool. He knows how to draw birds, that's for sure.
I know you are a person who does the thing that people who read webcomics are supposed to do, which is read them on the internet. So I figured you might be able to add it into your rotation.
I should.
Actually, I can subscribe to the email, and I should probably do that. I was thinking about just doing that the other day because I was on the web store. Oh yeah, I was on the web store looking to see whether they sell shirts, which I don't think they do. Specifically from the False Knees web store, they might be partnered with someone else. It was confusing because he was like, "We don't sell shirts," and then there's another store that definitely looks like it's officially branded and does sell some shirts. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but um, anyways, none of them have the raccoon on it, so that's a
Oh
bummer.
no. Oh. Yeah,
I
these are
feel
fun.
like I feel like given how much time we spent talking about assorted crisis events versus this one, which some of my other ones will be longer, I know for sure, but like versus this one, like we could do a podcast on assorted crisis events at some point in the future. Um, what's your second book, Pat?
My second book is Descender, another Image comic book. Written by, oh, I have it, don't tell me. Jeff Lemire. Art by Dustin Nguyen.
It's Win actually, which I only know because I've messed
It's
it up
just
in the past.
Win?
So Dustin Win, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, there's an
Not
N
me
and a
not
G.
me putting you on blast. It's me telling you that I have messed it up before.
There you go. I tried. But yeah, it's really my kind of shit. It's more sci-fi. It's more hard sci-fi. It's robots and aliens and spaceships. I feel like it's like Mass Effect crossed with Steven Spielberg's AI. If you've seen that movie,
I was actually because I went to look it up because I read this forever ago, like closer to when it was first coming out. I read the first
oh really?
volume. Um, so I went to just I did a Google, and so I like found a Reddit thread about it also, and someone was like, "It's the best Mass Effect comic about a young child ever," and I was like, "Yeah, that kind of makes sense."
Oh, sure. Yeah. Well, I'm glad we're on the same page. But yeah, so it's the future. I don't even know if it's our future because it's not Earth. It's a different, like, I don't remember what term they give it. It's a federation-esque conglomeration of a bunch of different aliens and humans, and there's 12 different core worlds, I think.
I'm
Gotta
being
pull this
told it's
thing up so
the
I don't
United
just...
Galactic Council.
Yes, the UGC, of course. Is it 9 core worlds? Something like that.
It does say 9 core planets actually here. I'm on the
There you
Wikipedia,
go.
so I'll
Thank you.
correct. I'll fact check you.
Thank you. So right away, it's like, oh, this is my kind of shit. It's establishing, like, it starts on the tech planet, and you get to figure out about, like, how, some shit's gonna go bad when it tells you current population, such and such billion. It's like, oh, that's not good. That's not good that they
Yeah,
want
that's
us to
never
know
good,
how
right?
many.
8 billion genies did that to us too, also.
It's like, why are you establishing how many billions of people live here? But yeah, so it opens up with an attack. These ginormous robots appear beside all 9 core planets and basically start decimating the populace, and people aren't sure why. And it's discovered, I don't know how much more. Yeah, it's discovered that the giant robots have a similar core programming to these companion bots, these little boy companion bots that were made. And so the story starts with a giant attack, and then it jumps 10 years into the future. And this little boy companion robot wakes up after having slept 10 years because its owner, its mother, had turned it off so that it could pretend to sleep with the actual human boy that it's companioned with. They're out on this, they're out on this remote mining colony, and some disaster hit, like they hit a pocket of gas that killed everyone. And this robot's been deactivated for 10 years and it finally gets reactivated. And he finds out that shit's gone wrong. And when he connects to the network, it informs the UGC and basically everyone else that this robot is there. And in the intervening years between the now, there's been like a robot culling. The robots are now like outlawed. Everyone hates robots because they fear these giant robots that came and like wiped out a majority of every planet's population and then disappeared. But the UGC has found out that these huge robots, their core programming is similar to or identical to these Tim bots, these little companion bots. But there's only a handful of them left in existence because all these robots have been being destroyed for the past 10 years. So it's a big, like, oh god, we need to get to this robot.
We gotta go kill this little robot kid, is what you're saying.
Or like, well, they gotta find out like what the connection between these little companion bots and these like intergalactic threat robots are. And yeah, it's the adventure of gotta find them, gotta get them. They get captured by like raiders of like a different alien race that truly is like the heart of the anti-robot force. It's really cool. Having lots of fun. And I'm anxious to read the next couple volumes, I think.
How deep did you go into this one?
What do you mean by that?
Like, how did you just read the first volume?
Yes.
Okay, wasn't sure.
I was tempted to buy a couple more after this, but yes, I've only read the first one now.
Okay. Yeah, I know I've read volume 1 at some point in the past. It came out in like 2019, it looks like.
Yeah.
And I, for some reason, was not compelled to get into it. Maybe because I'm not as much of a world building guy as you are. That might make sense, but
it's so good. What really got me excited is at the very the last page of the volume. Here, I'll post it in the notes. It's got my favorite kind of shit, man.
Is it just a text page of
it's just my favorite kind of shit
or something? Oh yeah.
It's basically a breakdown of each of the 9 planets of the core worlds.
Yeah, that was in the first issue too. I read the first issue. Well, I didn't read it. I flipped through it yesterday. Image has like a lot of the first issues for series.
Yeah, for free.
And that was in there too. So I flipped through
I was like,
that
oh,
yesterday.
I love this shit. It's so good. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's lots of fun. The world building is great. And let me tell you, the watercoloring art that Win does, gorgeous. Like it's really
Yeah.
great.
That's what I was gonna step in to say if you didn't hit it is like Jeff Lemire's writing at this point I'm honestly hit or miss on. Like it really depends on the series for me or like the book.
Mm,
But Dustin Nguyen's art kicks ass and it always kicks ass. Like his watercolors are so I think he does a good job of making a page work with minimal lines, I guess is kind of the right word. It's not quite because it's watercolors, but like I think he does a really good job of
sure.
making a page work minimalistically. And then like the colors
Yeah.
obviously are really cool because they're watercolors. So yeah, I always dig a Dustin Nguyen comic. So I might circle back to this now. We'll see. I don't know. For some reason, I don't think it grabbed me on my first read, but maybe I'll give it another shot.
I hear it's a little decisive how the story because there's Descender and I guess there's a sequel series called Ascender.
Mhm.
So like that continues right after what happens at the end of this one. So I don't know. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I've heard various things about like Descender kind of wraps up well and like was Ascender necessary, and I've also heard that people liked it. So I don't know. I haven't read it, so maybe we'll find out.
I'm a sucker for intergalactic like conflicts and stuff, multiple different.
Yeah, I mean, when you sent it to me as one of the ones you wanted to talk about, it was not surprising me. It was like, oh, that makes sense.
There's an ancient civilization in here, Matt.
There's a giant,
They got
like,
everything.
kind of Karn from Magic the Gathering looking robot guy, and he's out in space.
Yeah.
We have to fight him.
Ah, so cool. I don't want to spoil
Yeah,
the twist, but it was really good. It really hooked me. So yeah, I am in for at least the next couple of volumes. See where it goes.
I don't remember a twist. You're gonna have to tell me after we get done recording.
The fact that the Tim robots, the modern day robots, are based off of the ancient civilization robots, not like the guy, the doctor. What is his
Oh,
name?
okay.
He didn't invent robots. He copied
He just
the
stole them.
programming stuff
Perfect.
from the ancient, the millennia year old robot that he found.
Hmm.
So that's why Tim is connected to these other ones because his base programming is probably the same. So cool.
That is pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. Are they robots or is it some sort of like robot, like technological? I don't know. That's cool.
Yeah, like actual consciousness map sort of
Yeah.
deal. Hmm.
Yeah. Cool beans.
All right, Pat. Did you look at Black Canary Best of the Best at all?
I did not. I will
Okay.
bet.
I was trying to figure out where to.
I just thought
I
the
saw
splash
that
screen was so
page,
cool.
Pat. It is a
Yeah.
good one. So my second book is Black Canary Best of the Best. It
The premise
is
sounds
a
familiar.
I
Sorry.
mean, it's
Go
a
ahead.
Tom King ass DC comic book. It's by Tom King and Ryan Sook, and I have the letterer list or the colorist listed in my notes somewhere.
I
It's
feel like
probably it's Dave Stewart.
the premise of Canary having cancer. I feel like I had known that or had read a similar story, if not this story. How old is this comic, Matt?
It's new. It just came out this year. So like part
Okay,
of
well
the
then I probably haven't read
reason
it.
no, you have not read this comic book. Part of the reason I picked it is because um as you know, I review DC Comics like once a month for the beat. And the way we
Right.
do that is we like pick a week every month and then that's your week. Um, and so I was really enjoying this book and I hadn't seen a lot of people talking about it. So I picked the week that issue 6 was supposed to come out so I could like do that as my featured review for the week. And then it slipped on the schedule to come out 2 weeks later, so I didn't get to actually write about it. I had to write about something else. Um, so I wanted to talk about it here because I liked it a lot. It is a very Tom King ass DC comic book. And what I mean by that is like you've read Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow with me. So like
Mhm.
I feel like you kind of have his rhythms then at that point. Like, and you've read Mr. Miracle at least in part, correct?
The first, what, 6 volumes
Six
or
issues,
issues?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so like it kind of has that same rhythm and a little bit of the same theme of like, it's kind of the thing Tom King does with DC Comics of like super strong willpower field hero meets like immovable problem and like will triumph.
Mm.
Except there's kind of a twist in this one. So like it's Black Canary, Black Canary 2 technically, like Dinah Laurel Lance, who is fighting Lady Shiva in Vegas for like the title of greatest fighter essentially, because like Lady Shiva is the best fighter in the DC universe essentially, and it's being broadcast like universe wide, like the Justice League is watching it in I think Green Arrow's living room with popcorn and stuff, which is a really cute like 2-page
That's
spread that's in
fun.
there.
Yeah.
Um, but like no one really thinks Canary is gonna win because Lady Shiva is the best fighter in the DC universe. So like, so it's kind of got that classic Tom King setup of like willpower field hero. Black Canary is known for her tenacity versus again like a thing they should not be able to overcome. And you're like, oh okay, I've kind of read this book before. Like she's going to overcome the thing, except what complicates it is that Black Canary's mother, the original Black Canary, has cancer, and so she's made a
Mm.
deal with Vandal Savage that she's going to go down in the 6th round to basically let Vandal Savage make a bunch of money off of bets on the fight, which is so weird because he's like an immortal caveman. He doesn't need fight money. Like I don't really understand that part of the premise. Doesn't make a ton of sense. I think it's honestly just an excuse for him to like give an opponent that he likes a cure for cancer, and like she won't they he knows they won't take it if he doesn't do some sort of weird thing. I don't know, man, it doesn't matter, it's
Mm.
not a big deal. So that then introduces this tension of like, is Black Canary going to throw the fight to get the cure for cancer for her mother, or is she going to do what her mom actually wants her to do? You find out throughout the course of the first few issues, which is like win the fucking fight, become the best fighter on Earth. So that tension I feel like makes it a bit different than other Tom King books in a way that's really interesting. Of like you don't really know which way Canary's gonna lean until close to the end. So that's one thing. The other thing that I think really makes this worth a read is Ryan Sook and I believe it is Dave Stewart on colors. Like their paneling and just like their ability to draw and render like kind of the brutality of the fight itself is really like it's really good. It's definitely worth a
Mm.
read. I feel like it's technically in DC continuity. I think
Oh.
it could easily have I think it could easily have just been a Black Label book. So like it's still I think it's rated like 15 and up. So like it's definitely like an upper teens book and like there's also that for the I don't know, the it like the thinking about death, which is pretty much a constant in the entire book turns out. But they did a lot of really good work in here, just like kind of selling the physicality of the whole thing, and then also some like inventive stuff throughout. Like there's a 9 panel grid that's like a flashback to Black Canary texting her mom about meeting Green Arrow, which is really cute, and like that's all rendered as like flip phone panels where like the texts are in the flip phone and Black Canary's like sitting down during a rest from training with Green Arrow and Wildcat. So um, yeah, it's a good book, and I feel like not enough people talked about it when it was coming out, and now the trade is out, so technically I can talk about it on this podcast. So um, I don't know, and like think you and I especially at this point, like it's a book where like the main character's relationship with their parent and like doing what is technically best for their parent versus like what their parent would want them to do is a tension throughout the whole thing. So that's something that's
Sure.
worth thinking about as you read through. Yeah, and then I guess the last thing I have to say about it, and I'll let you respond, is that I don't know if Tom King did this so much in Supergirl, but let me know. Let me know when I say
Hmm.
this if this sounds familiar to you. Like, there's this really Tom King specific tick where he has narration going over the action that's happening on the page, but the narration is referring to something else. And it really trips me the fuck up sometimes. Like, it is Batman run, it happened a lot. It was like really dissonant, where it was like, the one that comes to mind is like there's a Russian fairy tale that ends up being really important in this goddamn Batman run that I don't think actually exists, but like it ends up being important in this Batman run. And there's like one time it's actually rendered on the page, but otherwise it's just people talking about it in the narration boxes while other stuff is happening on the page. And it drives me wild because you're like trying to picture the fairy tale while also trying to like understand what's happening in the current moment on the page. Bananas. Tom King, stop. Except it mostly works in this one because it's all just like the fight announcers talking about the fight, and they're just like going insane about it in the way that like wrestling and boxing announcers go insane about these things. And like it mostly doesn't matter that I can't picture it because you're just like the gag is that they're just talking. So it mostly works in this one for me. And I don't remember if that really happens in Supergirl or not. Can you remember if it does, Pat?
I'm flipping through right now. I don't
Okay.
think so. I
Okay.
mean, it's told through the perspective of the young girl,
Yeah, but she's mostly
Supergirl.
talking about the stuff that's actually happening on the page, right? She's not
Right.
talking about like
Yeah.
eating ramen somewhere else.
Yeah, it's mostly like, yeah, her perspective about what's happening on the page. I don't think it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm not seeing anything.
Okay. Yeah, it's like it's done to different degrees in different Tom King books, but like once I started noticing it happening, especially in that Batman run, it just started pissing me the fuck off. But it mostly works in this one with the structure of the thing. So if that's a thing that also pisses you off about Tom King books, dear listener, know that I think it works in this one and it's fine. Yeah, I would. I think you would, because like when I read these superhero books, I do also think about you, Patrick, and like if you would like it or not. Like it's a thing that just kind of lives in my brain right now. Is like, is this a thing I could read on the podcast or not? And like, I think you would like it. I think there's enough interesting stuff going on, and it like mostly lives outside DC continuity in a way that you would appreciate, like sort of the same way the Supergirl book does. That like, I think we could potentially read it someday, and you'd be like, yeah, I like this book.
I mean, honestly, Black Canary is probably one of my more. I appreciate her more than other DC heroes, that's for sure.
She's got a lot of good
She's
stuff
always
in this
fun.
book, Pat.
Yeah.
The ending is really interesting. I liked it a lot.
She's in JLA year one, right? I feel like she was one of the.
Yeah, yep, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I have fond memories of her from my origins of DC Comics. Yeah, looks cool. I'm looking at some of the art. Yeah, it does look like the fight gets pretty rough there.
The fight gets pretty intense. Yeah, the fight is good. All right, I guess we're in back-to-back manga now. What's your third book?
It's the manga corner. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
my third and last pick is one that I had watched and enjoyed the anime, because I come about to manga is through mostly the adaptations and into anime. It's called Medalist. It's a sports manga about a young girl who wants desperately to get into competitive skating, but she is quote unquote too old. I think she's 11 years old.
Yeah, you gotta be
And
5 years old, Pat. I read the first
yeah,
chapter.
yeah. So the fact that she hasn't been skating since she's like, yeah, 6 or 7, she feels like those four,
I think
5 years.
multiple times in the first chapter they say 5 years old. It's very specific.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Japan. You know that they have like a strict, like, if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna do a thing, you may as well be the best at the thing, and to be the best at the thing, you may as well. So yeah, because she didn't start, and she's 5 years behind other girls of her age, she's never felt like she could be a competitive ice skater, but it's her dream and it's like eating her up, and she can't do it. But she finally meets a coach, Sukasa. What is her name? Let me look at her name. I wrote it down. Inori. Inori is a little girl, and Sukasa is I think he's like 20 something. He was an ice dancer.
Yeah, he's washed up.
Yeah. So he basically did experience the same thing as Inori. He wanted to get into competitive ice skating, but he got into it much too late. I think he was like in high school, or at least late middle school, when he actually started to want to get into it, and so he was laughed out of it. Everyone said, "No, there's no way. You're no way going to catch up." So he became an ice dancer, and which I guess isn't an Olympic sport, so he couldn't get a Olympic medal for that. He's now retired. He gave up on, and he sees Inori, and he sees her going through the same like turmoil that he did, but she has like, he sees her on the ice and sees that she has like an innate talent for it. So like, he is like, I love sports manga and anime because they're so like, if you feel bad and you want to like have a little watch or read a sports manga, it'll do it. It'll make you feel great.
I was having similar thoughts because I was trying to figure out both this and my pick, Blue Box, which is also a sports manga. Like, there's a line to me where they go too far. Like, I've hit it a couple times of like, you're too dedicated to this thing that is, at the end of the day, just a sport. And I don't know, like, usually they don't hit it. Like, maybe it's honestly more the characters than like that level of dedication, I guess. Because like, now I'm thinking about ping pong, and like, I fucking loved ping pong, and they're way too dedicated to that sport. But like, I feel like there's a way where authors like sell it in a way that it feels. I mean, ping pong actually talks about it being toxic, so maybe that's why it works. But like, where it's like kind of toxic and they don't understand that it's toxic, but like when it's done right, like this, and also I think like Blue Box, and it's just like, we're gonna try our hardest and do our best, and we're gonna overcome and get better. Like, yeah, I fucking love it. Like, let's do it.
Yeah, this is like one of the most positive books. It's great. There's the whole thing. Her mother doesn't encourage her because she doesn't want her daughter. Her older sister got into competitive skating, and it didn't work out. And her mother saw how much it broke her other daughter, and she doesn't want Inori to put in the time and effort not to like accomplish, not to be competitive, because she saw how much it hurt her other daughter. So it comes from like a place of love and concern, where she just doesn't encourage Inori at all until Sukasa convinces her that there is something there, that it's worthwhile cultivating this girl's talents. It's really cute, and I love like, there's lots of heartfelt like Sparkle's big eye little girl like, I'm doing it. There's a little
so
cute
much
like
crying, Pat. There's
oh
so
yes,
much
well, it's very emotional, man. It's very emotional. You understand? It's great, but I love like little gremlins. I love Japanese manga where they just have, like little gremlins in the background to like convince you like the comedic like. Here,
and this one had good explainer vibes, if that makes sense. Of like, in the chapter I read, he was talking about like the different sides of the skate, and like it was illustrated well, but also like not
a full page of text.
Not ancillary to the plot also, right? Like, it makes sense that it showed up. Like, it wasn't just like, we're shoehorning this in. It was like, oh, this makes sense to be here, and also it's informative and fun. Like, I felt the flow of it was really good, and I feel like that's really important for a manga, especially for me for some reason, where like, maybe it's because the chapters are short. I don't know, but like, I really love a manga that I can just like keep flippant, like kind of binge, I guess, for lack of a better term. Like, that's gonna really get me. So I felt like the flow of this one was really well done.
Yeah, and the characters are just really sweet. She meets up with other young girls who she competes against, and they're all great. They're all cute. They're all dedicated.
I really loved the like head coach who was like, "You can't show favoritism; the parents will kill us." That was probably my favorite bit, honestly, after I
Yes.
read.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's good. Highly recommend. Anime is great too. So
On the topic of anime, have you watched the anime of Blue Box?
I have. Well, I've watched I think the first 2 or 3 episodes, so I
Okay.
know the general vibes.
Nice. That means we can talk about it. Yeah, so my last pick is the first volume of Blue Box, which is by Koji Miura. Oh my gosh, one of those names where it's just impossible to say a name again. We're gonna say I said that right. But it's a manga that when I was looking around for manga to read on vacation this year, I was just looking at different lists and it came up on a bunch of different lists, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this, but I am gonna read it because I think my niece might like it. So I'll read
Sure.
this. Um, and I
Yeah,
liked it
when
a
you
lot,
said you picked
actually.
this one, I was not. Yeah, when you said you're going to read this, like that doesn't sound like a Matt Ledger book.
I contain multitudes, Patrick.
I guess. Good lord.
I just wrote a blog post about Dan to Dan, and now I'm going to talk to you about Blue
Who
Box.
are you? What have you done? This is preparation for your Japan trip. That's what it is.
It is kind of, actually, like, it is part of the reason I picked, like, 6 or so series, and I don't think Blue Box actually made, like, the official blog post write-up because it was such a late pick, but, like,
Hmm.
um, I got it, and I actually really enjoyed it. I think partially because, like, it's both a sports manga and a romance manga. So far in the stuff
Sure.
I've read, I think it's more a romance manga than a sports manga, but, like, no, there is in the end of chapter 1, I think there is some badminton stuff, so never mind. It is both by the end of my volume. It was a little bit since I read the first volume, so I read the first 3 chapters again the other day to kind of remind myself of what was going on in them.
Sure.
But it's about Taiki, a boy who is a badminton player. He's like kind of a lower classman in comparison to Chinatsu, who is a female basketball player who's like the star of the basketball team. So he is really into her, and they're like both the first ones there at the gym every day. And like he's kind of like he won't really talk to her. He talks to her a little bit before the kind of inciting incident, which is that her parents leave the country, and so she ends up living at his house, and so that it gets like extra wild from there. But it kind of has, I think, the same way we were talking about sports manga, just having that earnestness. Like, it's got
Hmm.
that earnestness without tipping into being too over the top or weird to where you don't like the characters. Um, it's got a little bit of My Love Story vibes without being quite as funny. But like, I think the combination of it being both a sports manga and a romance manga, and the characters being likable is kind of what I don't know, is kind of what made me like it more than I was
Yeah.
expecting to, honestly. Like it's something that I would read the second volume of as opposed to just like buying the first volume for my niece because I think it's much more age appropriate for her, but I really enjoyed it. So I'm curious on your take from the anime.
Yeah, I enjoyed what I watched. It's very clean. I don't know if the anime, like the style, correlates to what it was in the manga, but the animation was very. I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's something I wanted to mention is like it's a little bit more of a like a shoujo style manga to me than like a shonen style where like
Mm,
for the most part shonen stuff to me is like a little bit cleaner, a little bit more angular, whereas this is like a little bit
softer,
more yeah, a little bit
sure.
softer for sure.
Mm.
Um yeah, it's good. Do you want to be mad at me now?
I read your notes. I'm disappointed.
I know. So blog readers will know that I recently like put the Shonen Jump and Viz apps on my phone because I just wanted to check them out. Like I was like, oh, maybe I'll write a blog post about the Shonen Jump and Viz apps, and I don't think I'm gonna do that. But like, I've been reading some of the series I started this summer in the app, and I've been reading them from where they are now. So like, I've jumped probably 200 chapters of Blue Box. So at chapter 210, it was really good. It was still hit me. It was impactful. It was nice. There was a cool double-page spread that feels like it was a great payoff for the 209 chapters before, and I'll go back and
Oh,
read
fantastic.
those.
Yeah.
Um,
No, romance doesn't try to build any kind of tensions between characters. It's fine if you just go ahead and jump to the end and see what happens. Good. No worries.
Great. I'm glad we're on the same page and you have nothing to say to me about this. I read chapter 211 the other day, Pat. You can't stop me.
Uh,
It was good. Having fun. Catching up on some stuff for I'm reading this, Dan to Dan, Frieren. I'm trying really hard to not read Spy Family so that Cat doesn't kill me. so I technically have that favorited in the Shonen Jump app, but I'm probably gonna try to not read this. Although
nice.
complete aside, Kat thinks she's gonna try to buy whatever the most recent volume of Spy Family is while we're in Japan and see if she can read
In
it.
Japan?
Because she's been practicing Japanese, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I've been enjoying Blue Box, and I think I am gonna put it on the short list for stuff to get my niece for Christmas because I think she'll dig it. She's kind of a sports girl, and she's been reading a lot of young romance stuff. So
nice.
I would say, for the moment at least, Pat, the anime is probably worth checking out because chapter 210 was really great in the manga. So you just gotta get that.
There you go. Yeah, 5 seasons from now, whatever it is. Good Lord.
Yeah. Season 2 was announced, I think, recently for Blue Box. So
it was really popular.
Correctly.
It was one of the hot up and coming new animes when it started releasing. I think it was on Netflix, so lots of people were buzzing about it. So.
I like when I can surprise you with my my manga picks also, because we were talking, I think mostly off mic when we had the podcast with Suzanne about I'm really into Dan to Dan at the moment too, and you were like, how?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Again, another one that has a romance sub-theme, more sub-theme than Blue Box, but it's there. So again, would not think that you would be into romance mangas, Matt, but the evidence is starting to pile up.
Once in a while. Shit went down in the most recent chapter of Dan to Dan, but that's a different podcast.
Oh
yeah. Yeah, I think that will do it for this episode of Waiting on the Trade, actually. Curious if you are a listener out there in listener land and you want to leave us a comment or send us an email about this format, whether you enjoyed it or not. Definitely let us know. Pat and I will probably talk about it ourselves also, and this might be something we do again in the future. I enjoyed it. Quick temperature check, Pat, whether you enjoyed it or not.
Yeah. It gives me an excuse to buy all the things on my wish list that's been sitting there. Desperately need new books to read.
Yeah, it got you to read Assorted Crisis events, so I will take it as a win regardless.
I mean, that was always going to happen, or has it already? Who knows? Time.
It's just the win, yeah. Yeah, if you want to get in touch with us and let us know if you enjoyed this episode, you can email us at waitingonthetrade@gmail.com, and you can also find more comics-related goodness, including a write-up of some stuff I liked about Assorted Crisis events that I may or may not get into the show notes at mattreadscomics.com. Pat, thanks for chatting about comics with me. We kind of threw this one together, but I actually enjoyed it a lot, so I hope you did too.
Yeah, absolutely. We will do this again, I'm sure.